Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Lifestyle Yoga with Loretta. So today we're still working through the yamas and niyamas. We're on Asteya today, which is non-stealing. So again, I'm reading Exploring Yoga's Ethical Practice, the Yamas and Niyamas by Deborah Adele. And if you don't have this in your little yogic library, highly suggest, great book. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to read to you. You might sit back, maybe do a restorative pose and just listen and see what you get from it. Again, this is non-stealing. I picked out the parts that kind of resonated with me today for all of our highest and greatest good. And let's start. Asteya, non-stealing. Asteya, or non-stealing, calls us to live with integrity and reciprocity. And when we compare ourselves to others, we either find ourselves lacking, which makes us feel cheated, or we find ourselves superior, which leaves us feeling arrogant. Imagine what would happen if each time we took something, we gave something back. Reciprocity. I like to do this, like if I go buy a new shirt or a new dress, it's like I come home and want to clear out part of my closet. And if there's something I haven't worn for a year, for sure, I'm definitely going to get rid of that. So reciprocity, we just kind of filter through. We bring something new in, we move something out, we give back to the universe, whether that's we donate, whatever we don't need. Somebody else might have a use for it. So I highly recommend that we do donate what we're not using. Today, I wanted to focus on stealing from the future and stealing from ourselves. So I'm just going to read to you a little bit of this. Again, get the book. It's so good. If we stop long enough to gaze at what is laid out before us, to let the mystery of beauty and the wonder of the seasons sit deeply in our soul, our hearts cannot help but burst forth in thanksgiving and gratitude to life itself. Inborn to this kind of wonder is gratitude for where our life came from and indebtedness to the future. I am reminded of the native wisdom to make all decisions if they are mastered 7 generations into the future. So if we think about that today, what do 7 generations into our future look like? How do you want to contribute to the generations to come? Strength, truth, love, light, even more abundance, even more success. We're setting the path to rise higher, to increase our vibration. Let me see. Moving on. Stealing from ourselves. Not only do we steal from our others, the earth, and the future, we steal from our own lives. In all the ways that we impose an outside image of ourselves onto ourselves, we are stealing from the unfolding of our own uniqueness. How many of us go out there and again, we put on a different front than what we're doing at home, or, I worked a lot. I come home, I crash. It's good to rest. Sometimes we have to allow those things into our life instead of, it's not that we're 2 different people. That's normal. That's flow, ebb and flow. It's when we're trying to maybe act a certain way, and that's not how we really are. And we all do this. So it's part of awareness, intention, and taking action. We try to get more balanced as we go. And when we become more congruent, our vibration rises and we do become that person that we're putting out there at all different times. All demands and expectations that we place on ourselves steal from our own enthusiasm. Steal from our own enthusiasm. Are you feeling down? Do you need to up your vibration? Are you putting too many demands and expectations on yourself? All self-sabotage, lack of belief in ourselves, Low self-esteem, judgments, criticisms, and demands for perfection are forms of self-abuse in which we destroy the very essence of our vitality. And I thought about this last night when I was reading through this, and it's like all the self-sabotage, lack in belief in ourselves. Sometimes we hear those things when we're young, that where, this is a big thing with bullying in school, so if your child's getting bullied, or your child might be the bully, there's a deep conversation that needs to happen there, because what we take in when we're children sticks with us. I see this a lot in craniosacral SER, somato-emotional releases, that so many times that these wounds come from our childhood. So be uplifting, always be the forklift, boop, bring it up. Doesn't matter what age you are. This is probably one of the biggest lessons we can teach our children, that other people might say things about us that aren't true. And, that's brings on low self-esteem, judgments, criticism, and demands for perfection. We can be better. They'll like us more if we're perfect. It just doesn't work that way. So think about those things. We should be having great conversations with our children, even, when they're 5, 6 years old. I think my son might have told me that children know everything by the time they're 6, and I tend to agree with that now. They know everything they're going to learn. Their pattern of learning is set, perhaps. All the ways we live in the past or future steal from ourselves, and all the ways we put up fences, whether real or imagined, around our physical belongings or around our mental idealisms, we put up barriers that steal from the full expansion of our own lives. So again, that's living in the past. Let's get it right the first time. There's Satya. What if we always told the truth? Asteya, non-stealing. So we're not stealing from the past. We're not stealing from the future. We can have wishful thinking, and we all have that. We project this image of something that we want, but maybe not necessarily based on the relationships that we're having around us. So we are captured in a culture where our very identity is tied up with our accomplishments. I'll read that again. We are captured in a culture where our very identity is tied up with our accomplishments. What other people think about us, perhaps. Well, might be what we think about ourselves too. We wear all we have to do like a badge on our shirt for all to see. In this rush to get to the next thing, we have left no time for ourselves to digest and assimilate our lives. I see this a lot in pain patterns as well. We try to maintain those things. And like I tell my clients, we have different phases in life, different stages of life. What was true for us when we were teenagers is no longer true for us when we're approaching, 50, 60 years old. We're not living that life. Even though we never thought we'd get to this space, things change. So our truth becomes different. We have left no time for ourselves to digest and assimilate our lives. This may be our biggest theft of all. We need time to catch up with ourselves. We need time to chew and ponder and allow the experiences of life to integrate within us. We need time to rest and reflect and to contemplate. Again, so it comes back to the pain patterns kind of. This is just like, for me, I just see it in my work all the time. So we just have to take that time to rest, reflect, and contemplate sometimes. It doesn't matter how old you are. You might be watching this video and be 15 years old, and it's okay to rest, relax, and contemplate how your life is unfolding. Look forward to the future. This time, this space never stays the same. We never stand in the same stream twice. Tomorrow, we're going to be different than we are today. So shifting our focus. How do we do that? Small children, as they reach a certain age, begin to want what other one has. It doesn't matter what it is. They want it. See this with my grandsons all the time. Looking at the state of the world, it seems many adults are still caught in the toddler stage of wanting what the other one has. In the tenet of Asteya, or non-stealing, asks us to shift our focus from the other to ourselves. It asks us to get excited about the possibilities for our own life. When we attend to our own growth and learning in the area of our interests, we are engaged in the joy and challenge of building ourselves. From the fullness of our own talent and skill, we automatically serve the world rather than steal from it. This shifting of focus is illustrated by the following example. And I just want to share this story. So we've been here for a little bit. So go ahead if you want to move into your next restorative pose. Maybe you're going to do legs up the wall. Maybe you're sitting at your desk and you're going to do some stretching as I read, whatever that is for you today. In India, during major festivals, elephants are paraded down the narrow streets, proudly dressed in silks and jewelry, carrying the likeness of a deity on their backs. Along the way, vendors displaying luscious treats and sparkling jewelry are numerous. The elephants, being curious and playful by nature, can't help but swing their trunks this way and that in an attempt to capture the glitter and treats lining the streets. Destruction and chaos quickly follow. However, the trainers, knowing their elephants' adventurous natures, have learned to coax them into wrapping their trunks around a bamboo shoot. Now, as the elephants march down the street carrying their bamboo shoot, the parade continues smoothly. We are much like those elephants. When we don't know what we want, or we don't have the courage to pursue it, everything that everyone else is doing looks tempting to us. We begin to lust after others' accomplishments and others' possessions. We get sidetracked from our own dreams and our own realness. However, when we are focused on our own dreams, we can move forward with dignity, much like those elephants holding on to the bamboo shoot, undisturbed by the glitter and sparkle along the way. By holding on to our bamboo shoot, we can begin to build our competency and create the circumstances within us to have what we want. One-pointed focus. That's another part of the 8-limb path. We'll get there. The Sanskrit word adhikara means the right to know or the right to have. This word challenges us to the reality that if we want something, then we better grow the competency required to have it. Like the story above, we can dream and wish all we want, but we only get what we have the competency to have and keep. Anything else is stealing. So when we have the competency to stay on that one-pointed path, to achieve, and to maintain what we have, we'll all be there. Preparing ourselves to hold what we want is an exciting full-time job. It moves us away from any victim stories into full responsibility for our lives. How many times do we wish for more money, but we wouldn't have a clue what to do with it, at least sensibly, if we did show up? Asteya, or non-stealing, demands that we become capable of stewarding what we ask for. Learn about money and investments. Be savvy with the money you do have. Be prepared. Be generous. Have the adhikara for what you want. If we are not prepared to contain our deep desires, we can easily find ourselves stealing in all kinds of inappropriate and destructive ways. This jewel asks us instead to focus on our desires and then build the competency to have them. Educate yourself. It leaves us with the question, are you available to what you want? Are you willing to be open? The things from the past you can't carry into the next business opportunity, the next relationship, because everybody is different. It opens the door for us to seek out mentors and learn from people who have already accomplished what we are seeking. It also opens the door to the fun of learning new things. We never stop learning. We can find someone more accomplished and skilled, maybe even radical. I'll own that. Than we are, and learn from them how to plug our own holes of incompetence. And so that we don't steal from them, we can compensate them fairly. Good. So our little challenge for the week going forward with Asteya is this week, think about your dreams and goals and make a list of the things to do, study, try that would increase your knowledge and competency and bring you closer to your goal, thus building your adhikara. So again, that's Asteya, the third yama of the yamas and niyamas, and non-stealing. So today, make sure that you don't project into the future. You're seeing things that that haven't happened yet, but you're just assuming that they're going to go that way. Don't do that. Stay present, stay focused. Keep that bamboo shoot wrapped up in your trunk, one pointed focus. Don't move into the past. Let that go. You're not the same person who you were yesterday. You're growing. You're constantly moving forward and moving towards that goal with even more love, even more light, and even more abundance for even more success. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. We'll be back here maybe sometime over the weekend. I'll hit the next one because we need to move through these a little bit faster. Make sure you're getting your yoga asana practice in there with some pranayama, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste. Peace. I was thinking it was Friday, but it's only Wednesday. Have a great day, you guys. Take care.